Welcome to Job Skills Share, and in this Linux training, last video we did the updates on a fresh system, and so what we're gonna do in this video, whatever we did, so we fresh install Linux, then we did updates. Now remember, we spent almost about 20-30 minutes. Now to make sure we don't do all the steps again in this training, if we mess up something, we need to back up this machine right now. To do this, you need USB with at least something like, I know if you have 120 GB, and these days things are pretty cheap. I have 1 TB USB hard drive right here, so it's a USB one. As you can see, there's a USB coming out, and you might want to get this. It's pretty important because this saves you time. I've seen so many people, they do things, they mess up things, but then they know, oh, this is too much time, I'm not gonna do all this again, and they give up. Those are the things that you want to get away from. So that's why you need to spend a little money, get a USB, so when this type of stuff happens in the training, you just quickly restore it again, and now you have another way to just start your training and not give up on these things. You shouldn't give up anyways, but these are the few things that I've found out when students do things. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this with me right now. Second thing is that you could use a CD for this backup for this lecture, or you can use a USB, the same USB. Remember the first video we put a Ubuntu on this. This is a 4 GB USB. You put a Ubuntu on it. I don't need a Ubuntu anymore because I already installed it on this machine, so I'm going to use it for something else now. So go to your desktop on a machine that a desktop machine like a Windows one, because I try to use that. Remember, this is your testing machine, so that's something you want to keep your Windows machine just to keep learning and getting things from it. Okay, so google.com, go to google.com and go to this software right here, Redo Backup. It's called Redo Backup, redobackup.org. Click on that. So what is Redo Backup? It's basically easy backup recovery and bare metal restore. So what it does is that you can you download this ISO, put it on your USB, and then take a backup of any system. It could be a Windows or it could be a Linux. So they have it here somewhere on the bottom. I think right here. Yeah. Windows or Linux, it doesn't matter. So that's why I want to keep it very simple in the beginning. In the beginning, we're just doing backups, how to keep this machine, so this is just personal to us, to our learners, that we don't want to do these things again and again, installations and everything and updates. So that's something, it's also a good learning tool. So you know how to take a backup now, you know how to restore it if something goes bad. But in future, we're going to go more towards Linux, get the backups in this, and do the client's backups and restore just like we did in the Windows course. So for now, we're using this. I have the USB right now with me, and I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this into this machine right here, which is a desktop Windows machine. Okay, plug that in. My Windows recognize it. I went to this, I downloaded the software. I'm going to go there. Okay, so then you go to the download the live CD image. You get the security message from which is basically fine. That's you do click on that, and on the bottom click security exception, and then you'll get to this point right here. You'll see right here that the download is right there. Download Redo Live CD 1.0.4. Just give it a second and we'll start the download, and there you go. You click on OK, and that will install that 240 MB ISO. It's pretty small, so you might even not want to use that USB that I just plugged in. You can even put a CD raw and then put it on and burn the ISO directly to CD. But since I already have the USB, I don't have any CDs with me right now. So I'm going to use that USB anyways. Alright, so now the Redo Backup Live CD ISO is downloaded. all we gotta do is go back just like we did for Ubuntu. We got this we went to this software Yumi multi-boot USB creator. You click on that. The site is basically pendrivelinux.com, and all you do is scroll down and download this application right here. Already this is in the first video, so I'm just gonna go back to my downloads, and it's right here. So you click on that, you get the download, you open that. This is a portable application, and you say I agree, and now you pick the USB again. And this time I'm not doing format. In the first video I did a format, so I'm gonna keep my Linux Ubuntu in that USB. So you can put as much as you want. I mean, if you have 3 GB, you can put that. If you're 20 GB USB, you can install almost anything you want, all this in one USB as like one big troubleshooting CD or something you want to just have fun with. So for this, what I'm going to do is to find if they have anything related to this redo backup. And they do have it. Look at that. Redo backup and recovery. So you don't need to even do anything. Just click on this and do the browse, and make sure you browse to the ISO, which is this one right here. Click open, and that went green, which is fine, and then you say create. This is all you have to do to create that USB bootable. And so if you are not using a USB, like again I say this in every video, you can just plug in, you can put the CD into this computer and just do the same process and pick the CD-ROM drive, not the USB one, and you will have that bootable CD, and you plug it into this machine and do the rest of the stuff. So at this moment we're waiting for the USB to get ready for us. Once it's bootable, we'll plug it out from this machine on the right side and plug it into this laptop and plug in our USB, which is this 1 TB hard drive right here. We're gonna plug that into this machine and take a full backup of this laptop. So whatever we did till today is going to be backed up. Tomorrow lessons or whatever we do in the future, and if we mess up anything, we can come back to this drive and put it back. So we save our installation time, updates time, and all that. These are the things that you need to learn. This is just a basic level of training right now. This could be used in home computers and everything. When we go a little bit further, we're going to start learning more of IT ways, how to do things remotely, all that stuff. It's all done, so let's click on next. Would you like to do another one? No. And I'm going to say finish. Go back to my computer, safely remove the USB. Eject. It's ejected. I'm going to take it out. Now this is a USB, and I'm going to plug it in to my laptop. Okay, it's plugged in. I'm going to restart this laptop. Make sure, like I said, you need to know your computer. If you're using Dell computer or something else, you need to know where the options are to go to the boot. Mine's Sony, so I'm using F2. I'm hitting F2 multiple times. It will go to the blue screen. This is the BIOS. So I'm gonna go back to boot it from external device. F5 is the one that will make it up. Yep. And I'm gonna go to exit, and then I'll say save configuration changes and exit now. Yes. Okay. And while this is restarting, I'm going to plug in my USB, which is the 1 TB USB, to take a backup. Need to find a USB here. So it's a good practice. If you plug in your USB after this booted up, you make sure you restart it again just for the system to pick up your USB. Sometimes it will pick it up, but sometimes it does not. So let me tell you guys, there's USB right here. It's starting the USB. The system is booting from this USB, and there's another USB which is right here. This is going to be taking the backup, and this is going to be basically the backup is going to be getting installed on this. Not installed, sorry. It will be backed up to this USB. So right now we're waiting for the system to start up. Here's a little troubleshooting part right here. Look what's happening here is right now is that it's on the blue screen. So what's happening right now is there's two USB drives connected. One is the one that we just created. The other one is this one right here. So the system is thinking that this is also a bootable drive, which does not have anything. So that's another issue right there. So we need to unplug this. Okay, and we're going to restart it. These are little troubleshooting things that you guys need to learn, and this could be also used in the real world examples. You might plug in a USB thinking why it's not coming up. It's because of that. So watch, this is going to pick up the first USB, the bootable one, and as soon as that picked it up, I'm going to plug in the other one. So now I plugged it in. That's good. And there you go. You have, in the first video you guys saw first, there was only a Linux distribution because we just put Ubuntu on it. Now we put the redo backup on there. It automatically took that and says that it's a system tool. We're gonna go and click enter on it, and there you go. The redo backup is right there, and we're just gonna go ahead and start it. So this is the redo backup screen. Now all we gotta do is to find the right option. Start redo backup, and it automatically started. I didn't even click on it. We're just gonna have to wait for it to come up. Like I said, this redo backup, you could be using this on a Windows machine. Anything that can take this, you can use it because it's external. There's nothing to it. This is not a software installing on a system. You just have it on a USB or CD, and you can just actually use it to backup and restore, backup and restore. So here you go. This is where it is very simple. You got backup and then you got restore. All we gotta do is to create a backup. You just click on backup. It's looking for the disks right now, so it already found out that in this system I have 232 GB, which is basically that the Ubuntu is installed on, and it tells you that right there. It's installed right there, and I'm going to say click next. And if you have two partitions in it, I would pick everything in there because you want exactly the same for any imaging. You want to take a whole image, you want to take a whole backup, you want to get all that. So there's no issues then. It's just gonna, if you do restore, it's just gonna put it on the same way as it is. So now you see right here, select destination drive, and it should pick up the other one too. Right here is the 1 TB one, and I'm going to pick up that one and say next. Alright, so now you have that. Click browse to select or create a folder. So basically you can create a folder in there, or you can basically if you already made a folder, you can pick something else. Alright, I'm going to click on browse, and then when you click on browse, you can actually save this whole to anywhere you want to right here. So or you can say type the file name and you can find the backup. So I already made a backup folder in that USB, which I should have. You can actually create another one in there too, but I'm just going to use whatever I have. Or you could just say create a folder on the top, so you can just create another new folder inside that USB. Since I already have, I'm just going to double click on this, see what is in there. And there's D header. Okay, that's good. Where it says save here. So now this is where it's going to be saving this image. I'm going to click next, and it just gives you the date. You can change that if you want to. You can put a Ubuntu backup or something like that. I'm just going to keep it that way, and that's it. It will tell you the time remaining for the backup, and once it's finished, it's all done. Remember, in this video we just show you guys the backup. We're not doing restore unless something happened right now, but it is the same way. You got the USB now, you keep that USB with you. You got this USB right here, you keep that with you, so that you have all the backups in here. This machine, if something goes down today or in the future, we'll plug this USB in there. This whole screen will come up again, and you then click on restore. There was two options before. Now we're taking a backup, so that's going into this USB. When you click a restore, it will tell you, okay, let's find the backup that you did today, which we're talking about right now, and you're going to find that backup folder in this one. You pick that and just click on restore and go get some drink, and it will do the same process all the way down here. When you restart your Ubuntu, it is going to come back to this same day or whenever you do the whole backup. This is how it's doing. Basically, it's creating a backup image. Backup image is like a full image of this computer right now. This is why I love imaging and anything that has to do with backups, because you do a lot of stuff, and like I said in the beginning, students work on things, and when they do all the setup and everything gets so complicated, and if something gets messed up and you don't know how to do it, you easily give up, because there's a lot of things you need to learn then to fix that issue. So why not take a backup right now, take this time, and when you do your training in this course, if something gets messed up, you come back to this USB. So make sure this is somewhere secure, laying down somewhere, good place. So you can even copy this backup and put it somewhere else. So this is how you do it. We're going to teach you guys something else in the different videos. So stay tuned. Job Skills Share. See you guys.